The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of Power Trading Hour. That's with me, your humble, lovable, squeezably soft host.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
Get a few things going here. There we go. Okay, let's take a quick look at the markets, which are already in progress over most of TFNN. And what do we have? The S&P 500 up 5, Dow's up 70, Nasdaq's off 3. And it's just a little bit of thought that maybe some of these larger companies are now going to get a little bit more attention. Certainly got that with the EU going after Google this morning with a $5 billion fine. Is that the end of the world for them? No. And we'll bring a chart up and we'll talk about why they got the fine. I don't think many people are actually getting into the weeds on this, but it is important. But other than that, you just don't want to actually get too wrapped up in, I think, the fangs these days. They're fairly easy, low-hanging fruit. The old saying is socialism fails when it runs out of other people's money, and that's exactly what is happening in the EU these days. They are running out of everybody's money from all its client states like Italy or Greece. You just can't give everything away. Just amounts to it because people won't get off their butts. Communism, socialism's tried every single time it's been tried the last 6,000 years, and nothing new there. I would always short socialism. What else is going on? Yeah, that's kind of it at the moment. We had, of course, Powell finish his testimony today, and just not a lot of, I'm going to just say not a lot of up or down energy in the market. Almost all the earnings, either from last night or this morning, opened 3.5% higher. That didn't really move into the rest of the market. Just kind of sitting here. But of course, we've got some bigger earnings tonight and then through Thursday, and I think that's going to be it. I continue to think, as I said last week, that we're going to go up to the 28.40, 28.45 area. That gap is probably going to be fairly significant resistance, not because of people wanting to sell there, but because a lot of other people are probably going to think that that's the opportunity to short. If enough people short, the market can go down for a little while, but my guess is we will blow through up to that 28.70 area in the S&P cash. And if you are of the bearish persuasion, which I am agnostic about now, I would wait until we got up into some level or got some kind of signal. I wouldn't anticipate I would react because the volume up isn't much. The volume down isn't much when we have these days. We've got about 3.5 billion shares today. There's just no real big signal out here. I could see arguments for both sides of the market, but other than maybe thinning out a couple of positions that kind of stalled out today, at least in the long-term positions, I remain for the one that I love long-term. I'm going to stay long in that one. But, selling a little bit into this kind of move, not a big, bad deal. So we'll take a little money off the table, take some nice gains, at least better gains than the market had against the index with some individual stocks. And then that'll be it. Now I'm waiting and hoping that we get some kind of signal or some kind of turn so I can get and set up some options expirations for Friday. I don't see much of anything right now. We're all in a very narrow trading range. Like I said, earnings up 3% on all the ones that were out last night, this morning. And of course, we had even Netflix after its huge move lower, is just off $2 today at 377. That's still well within the $30 higher or lower that options were saying. So you may have had enough people to push the thing down for a little while yesterday, but it's right back in the range that it should have been in, or at least options said it was going to be in. So, yeah, can you push these things out a little while? Yeah, but they just kind of pop back. So I'm not going to, without finding a stock with a lot of people on the outside of norms, it's going to be kind of tough to find anything that really moves significantly for options. We do have an options question, and we'll get to that in a bit. We've got a little history to talk about. Why don't we do that, and then we'll get we'll get the charts in the next segment.
Then it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
And what happened on today? 1968, Robert Noyce, Andy Grove, which I met, Gordon Moore, which I met, incorporate Intel in Santa Clara, California to build microprocessors. Their first processor, the 4004, was released in 1971 for use in calculators. I had a Bomar brain, which had a 4004 in it. IBM's choice of the Intel 8088 for use in the PC led to Intel's emergence as the premier manufacturer of processors still to this day. Of course, in 1968, one of the premier calculator manufacturer was a little company that most people didn't pay much attention to. It was called Commodore Business Machines, and they made mechanical calculators for businesses. And the reason they did that was the guy that founded the company was a Pole who barely emerged with his life from concentration camps over in Europe. He joined the military here in the United States in 1947 or 8. He ended up spending about 10 years in the Army and repairing typewriters. That led to him repairing adding machines, and he decided to start building his own. Of course, when this processor came out, the 4004, one of the first things that happened was, well, guess what? All his adding machines quit selling very well, and he decided to get into the hand calculator business or desktop calculator businesses himself, and bought a small competitor to these guys here at Intel. Several years later, the same thing happened. He decided to get into the PC business and started selling Commodore 64s. About 1981. We'll be back after this.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
We'll get to our questions as quick as we can. We've got a bunch of them here. First one is about shorting Morgan Stanley. Someone jumped in this morning, and to see who is this. Tamar got on the puts on Morgan Stanley. It's rolled down a little bit. But no, I wouldn't be a big fan out here shorting this, at least over the next 3 days. My guess is we're going to see a little bit of a pop back into this $51 range, probably over the next couple of days. I don't see anything that really says this thing is going to roll over very hard, at least right now. Maybe with the market, but itself, I don't see a lot of problems with it. It's back up to its resistance level on the 29th of May, 26 million shares. You got about 13. But my guess is that if you're going to want to go short, it's probably going to be Monday or Tuesday next week before the next decent setup is going to be. But again, I think I have to make 300 or 400% on an options trade. I can't trade for 10 or 15 or 20%. Just because, well, you got to be right and almost perfect, and it is very tough to be that perfect on options. But we're getting kind of close out here. Not a bad time to be pulling the trigger. I just don't think that there's a lot in this one over the next couple of days. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, answered that one, answered that one, answered that one. Okay. Okay. Shoot. Yeah, we want to get that one back up. Got our next question over here, which is, where is that at? Okay. Do you envision the IWM declining 10 points? Let's take a quick look at it. got a little light volume out here. You're going to need some kind of surprise, I think, to break this one down. And again, I would think that if you're looking at IWM or the S&P or the NASDAQ, it is probably Monday or Tuesday before you get any signal to pull the trigger on them. Is the volume light up? Here it is. But it is incredibly hard to get the market anymore to sell off before earnings. And most of the earnings over the last couple of days suggest that, other than rare events like Netflix, most of these things are doing kind of good. Now, could it be a sell the news kind of thing by next week? Or maybe we get a few more misses. But to me, trading those, trying to trade the market based on thinking or hoping you get a miss on one of these stocks in the next few days is a coin flip, and I'm not much of a gambler. If I knew it, if I could go in there and look at the charts and see it all in there, that would be one thing. I can say that, yes, the market's a little weak. All I need is some kind of signal. I think I heard Steve Rhodes talk about this too, and that is everybody's anticipating the signal. I hear everybody telling me that they want a short, and that just makes me think the market's actually going to go higher. Um, if everybody thought the market was going to go to the moon, I'd be worried. And it's just you want to have kind of that natural reaction that when you hear everybody beating the drums one way or the other, probably the big money. You won't always be right, but probably the big money is on the side of what everybody's talking about. So I don't know if the big money's on the upside, but I have a feeling that there's going to be a few days of pain if you start shorting it right now. And you know what? The last couple of times I've heard people say whatever index or ETF or commodity was toast, they instantly started moving against all those folks. Every term I've heard that the train has left the station. Too bad you aren't on board. They've all turned around and ripped people a new one. Again, I'm just very cautious when everybody starts yelling and screaming. And I always love that hog, the saying in the 1970s and earlier, hog pits of Kansas City, that is sell them while they're yelling and buy them while they're crying. And right now I hear everybody crying. I don't hear a lot of people yelling and screaming about how the market's only going to go higher. Everybody's a little worried, and generally worried markets, they can go down, but the wheel doesn't fall off the wagon. If I start seeing people that are ecstatic, only saying the market can go higher, I think I even brought that up on Tuesday's show that I ran into, actually it was last week. I think on Thursday's show that I went out to a bar. We were playing all games, and everybody was saying how the market was going to go lower. That was 25 points ago or something. It can, but almost always they're not going to be right on the day or the next day, even if they are right in the market going lower. I would just say no position is a good position to have right now. If you think you have to short, if you have to be long, that may even be the same answer there. I am starting to pull back some of my positions, but I'm suspecting that the big signal will be bright and shiny and unambiguous. A blind man will be able to see it, and that will be that test of the gap up there about 28.40 to 28.50 and 60. So we'll keep an eye on that. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me, as many have today, at path@tfnn.com, or you can put a message in the den. So the question on the IWM, can it go down 10 points? Yes, I'm just going to say, if it's going to do that, it's going to be next week. I don't see anything right now that says anything. The uniform pop 3% higher in almost everything this morning tells me that this is a little bit problematic. We don't know what we don't know. And the greatest problem with thinking you know stuff is the illusion of knowledge, not the knowledge itself. You don't know what you don't know. And I don't know that there isn't going to be a $2 rip higher in the dollar tomorrow. I don't know that we're going to see a similar rip in crude, which may have started today. Right now, though, I have no signals to the contrary that we're not going to push a little bit higher in all the stocks all the way through Friday. And that is a problem. But you know what? If we rip before the end of the day up to 28.45, 28.50 on the S&P cash, and we continue to have kind of light volume, just ran all the shorts, gave it all up before the end of the day, I'd say that was a symbol. That's a sign, and it's not a burning bush, but it's close to it, and you should pay attention. Unfortunately, a little bit lighter, a little bit less energy back up to the top isn't some kind of unambiguous signal. All I see is ambiguous for the most part. We're going to get into a lot of charts before the end of the day, so hang on. We'll be going through them as fast as we can.
The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary Power Law Vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of The Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're back. Going to go through these as fast as possible. We've got a handful of these that are making some fairly significant highs. Alder Biopharmaceuticals, ALDR is the symbol on this one. You had a huge volume day on 18 $2.60 on January 9th. You went into it with a little over 1 million shares on June 5th, right back into the trading range. Kind of the same thing. You got even to a little higher high out here a couple of days ago at 1960, but 800,000 shares back into the trading range. So a handful of these pharma companies, they're showing a little bit of weakness, although the IBB has been one of the stronger indexes out there. Alexion Pharmaceuticals, ALXN is the symbol on this one. 137.88 spike on March 15th. You're getting into that and went over 2 cents yesterday on that with 1.57 million shares compared to 11 million shares back on that March 15th high. So keep an eye on those. AON, which Aon Corporation, really banging against this 147, 148 area. But you know what? You get through that, you're only going to get a 151.66. So probably some fairly decent risk reward there if that's going to fail. But you're looking at 2.2 million or 1.8 million on this gap. So far, about 740,000 shares so far today. PPS, which is Digital Turbine, might be trying to make a bottom. I certainly like this in the penny stocks for one of the better looking charts. June 13th, 141 with 3.2 million shares. Only got 765,000 shares yesterday. You're back into the trading range. The energy off this high from June 20th looks fairly decent. AXTA, Alexa Coding Systems, retesting its big spike low of February 6th. Did so with what? 3.7 million shares, 28.92. You didn't quite get into that, but only 1.5 million shares 2 days ago at 29.49, and a little spike higher out here. Energy off this high of May 22nd was a little lighter than going up to it from the low of April 24th. BDX, which is Becton Dickinson and Company, testing its previous high on about half the volume of January 29th, 247.64. And again, almost all these have earnings coming up, so it is problematic to get in front of these, but they're hanging up on a light volume. Bungie, which we talked about yesterday, could be making a low in this area. Needs to continually close above 68.43, which is the June 15th low spike in Doji. Tried to get to it on 2 days with 1.2 and 2.2 million shares. So probably one of the weaker of these charts that we're looking at for a reversal. Bookings Holdings did get down to 1980 on June 28th, got down to 2000 yesterday and started to move a little higher. Energy is about the same on the way up and on the way down, although this one looks like it could go back to 1600 if it got a surprise. It's been one of the weaker ones out there. I was short it for a little while. It didn't hang on. But again, it was going to be kind of tough to hold that one. CDW, a little spike out here today, going up against the $85.82 high from June 18th. You had 1.4 million shares. Got about 530,000 shares so far. A close back below 85.82 would give you a sell signal. I think we talked about Continental Resources yesterday, trying to find some kind of low in this gap up from April 10th that had 3.2 million shares. Tried to test it with 2.7 million shares on June 19th. And then, of course, yesterday, 1.5 million shares. Today, 1.1 so far, with a little bit of a pullback. There might be some support in that sector. Charles River Laboratories, 119.05 on November 2nd of 2017. He had 500,000 shares. Got into it with 691 on June 15th, though. Instantly pulled back. Now back up. Yesterday we had 336,000 shares. Today 154,000. So kind of hanging up there on fairly rarefied air. Citrix Systems also trying to break out, but not much juice. 109.43 from June 6th, $2.62. So what do we got today? 723,000 compared to that 2.62 million shares, he said. CYBR, which is CyberArk Software, making a new high against the June 20th high that had 560,000 shares. Yesterday we had 382,000 shares, so fairly light. Today, just 216,000 shares. So maybe making a top in some of these cyber security stocks today. FDN, which is First Trust Internet Index Fund, 853,000 shares. June 20th, 145.81. We're kind of right up there yesterday, just 584,000 shares. A little doji out here today with 373,000 shares. But again, hanging out on fairly light volume. As I said, we're going to go through a great deal of these because we are having some setups. If you're thinking about going short, I still suspect, though, that Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday next week is going to be the time to look at these again. Fortinet, this is not Fortnite, a game I guess everybody in the world is playing now. It may be the newest viral PC game. Everybody I talk to is either playing it or knows someone or playing it. And even parents of kids that have the game are playing it. June 18th, $66.32. Not this company, by the way. Fortinet, FTNT. $66.32. 2.6 million shares got into it with little a, less than 800,000 shares just gone sideways. Again, most of these things are awaiting earnings on very light volumes, and some are actually pushing out ahead of these earnings on light volume. Green Dot Corporation, this one, if my memory serves, is the debt card for Walmart, at least the one that they push. $79.12, 770,000 shares on June 13th. We're going through that today with 134,000 shares. GG, which is Gold Corp. And somebody asked me in the email, let me find it here, about why I suspect that the miners are holding up better than gold itself for the most part. And that is that these guys probably sold a lot of gold forward, and they've got kind of a locked-in price for gold. So, you know what? They probably don't have too much to the downside, but at the same time, if gold starts going higher, they don't have that much to the upside either. But generally, when you find gold going lower, but the gold miners not going lower, it tells you that people aren't that worried about the price going lower for the gold miners. Would it be better if it went higher? Yes. Do they hedge 100%? Almost unequivocally no. So it would still help them if gold goes higher, but maybe not a lot of people worried about it going lower. We'll be back after this.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks! Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The Taz Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the Taz Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Taz Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the Taz Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And we're back. Got a question, and I'll answer it with this chart also, and that is Intuit, $216.63. That's June 21st. Had 1.7 million shares yesterday, 725,000 shares. Today going into it with 514,000 shares. And again, just, you start looking at these charts and you go, okay, I should short this thing right away. And then you start looking for the earnings date, INTU, and you say, okay, that's August 21st. So you get into this last month, and especially the last 2 weeks before earnings, and now we're 30 days away. And these things, unless you've got a horrible, hideous market, these things just tend to hang up. And sometimes even for run earnings going into them, you don't have any volume, but you're also within about 30 days of earnings. So maybe you get a pullback to 210, but $8 on a $200 stock does not excite me that much. You've got to find something that looks a little better, or you got to have the wheels fall off the greater market. Everybody's told me that that's going to happen now for a while. I thought it was going to happen. We got a big signal back at 2,700 that the bottom was in. We're up, now 110 points, 120 points off that low in the S&P cash. And you know what? Everybody's still trying to short everything. I would love to see no one try to short the high. That would be even a better signal. That would be the proverbial burning bush. I just don't see it. Everybody keeps telling me how they want to short everything. And that makes me think the market's probably going to go higher until these people give up. That's, in my first few years of trading, that's what happened. I saw the market. I saw the signal. I shorted. And guess what? Market just kind of went a little higher, a little higher, a little higher. And about when I gave up, that's when the market decided to turn. So we'll keep an eye on it. What else is going on? Let's take a look at another one. I brought this one up in the Tech Insider Hour with Tom O'Brien. I'm probably not going to trade this one. I have traded other IPOs, or at least stocks that IPO'd in the last year or so. There's a couple of the ones I've talked about that I want to get in on, but they're just kind of too wild, actually, to trade more than intraday at the moment. Laser is one of these stocks that I think could be fairly good. They're making high-power lasers to cut through things. laser beams. 250,000 shares so far, though, going into 400,000 shares on June 4th. Again, I would much rather watch these things go through um, the IPO lockup, see how many people are selling into it. If it holds up, you know what? It might be worth buying. But right now, too much of a gambler. I am a prudent speculator, not a gambler. Marathon Oil, we talked about this one for a while. Didn't look too bad a couple of days ago. Um, doesn't look that good now. Continues to bounce around this $20 level. Got a little reversal out of this today. I don't think it's anything to write home again. We looked at Morgan Stanley. Again, don't think there's much in that other than the little fluctuations that we're playing now. New Relic, which is a clothing store for like kids, if I'm not mistaken. This had 1.4 million shares on June 18th, 111.59. You're getting a retest with the 566,000 shares yesterday. Today, just 279 so far. See how that works out. But kind of going back into fall, this may continue a little higher. My guess is that these clothing stores for kids probably going to be big short opportunities, probably around the first of the year, not like the rest of the market next week. To PRGS. Take a look at that. Progressive Software, this thing's just banging around at this 40 level. Watch it in the next couple of days. If this does break out, you're going to 44 and then 46 bucks and a possibly 49.60, which is this February 25th high, but just banging around at the moment. Party City Holding Company. Would be kind of nice to be in a company that was always partying. But no party out here in volume for the last 2 days. March 9th, $16.75, 3.3 million shares. Got into it yesterday with 726,000 shares. A little bit more volume today. No, 366,000 shares, but a little bit of a pullback. PayPal Holdings, another one coming up on earnings. We think we talked about this on Monday. But again, this is what a lot of these stocks are looking like. There's not a lot of energy off those June lows, but they're still back up at the highs. On PayPal, it's the 87.55 high of June 21st. You had 9.2 million shares. Got into that with 7 million shares on the 12th this month, 6 million shares the next day, 4.4 million shares yesterday, 5 million shares today, 3 million shares. So you're up here at higher levels. You've broke the new highs, but it's not pulling back, and you got some fairly benign volume. But then, of course, you go back and look, and are any of these stocks giving it up before earnings? And the answer is no. You got 7 days from today, July 21st, to see those earnings. Even if the market starts pulling back, I don't think you're going to get much in that one before you actually get the numbers. Ring Central, RNG, another one testing its previous highs. Now, this one got to 81.20 on May 10th. 1.5 million shares. Got into it yesterday with 738,000 shares today, 549,000 shares so far. So, again, there are enough of these stocks out here to start looking at potential short positions, but you got to make sure these things are not within 30 days of earnings. And almost all of them are. Retrofin Pharma, RTRX, is breaking out today. You wanted better than 500,000 shares from May 24th. You got 608,000 shares. Yesterday, it was fairly light as we went into that high. But you have a valid breakout. You're going to have more volume today on this one, RTRX. Let's look at the IBB real quick as a follow-up to that. And again, the IBB is basically getting up to its 119.30 high. That's the January 29th high at 2.6 million shares. And, you know, you had some decent volume, 4 million shares up to the July 13th high. And it's just kind of hanging out here. Energy's been pretty good off the June 28th low. kind of came off the $100 lows, though, without a huge amount of energy. So this one's been kind of weak, but still outperforming the rest of them in the IBB. We come back, we got a handful more. We still have enough time for you to give me a call or email me. In fact, somebody has. Okay. I'll take a look at that again. We'll look at New Relic. Maybe I was wrong about what they do.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
A Rubik's Cube offers more than 100 million starting positions, resulting in 43 billion potential twists and turns. Yet this puzzle can be solved in 20 moves. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, and knowing the right move makes all the difference in the world. And on Thursday, July 19th at 4:15 p.m., I'll share with you the 3 essential tools behind my #1 ranking by Timer Digest for the S&P 500. This 30-minute event is being hosted by Ninja Trader, and it's open to everyone in our listening audience. At this event, I'll share with you the Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal that subscribers now use to identify tops and bottoms, as well as Stevie's red line and the market profiles that I use. The sign-up link is on the homepage of TFNN.com and requires nothing more than your name and email address. To help celebrate my #1 market timing ranking, we're making Mastering Probability available to anyone in our listening audience for the next 30 days with a free money-back guarantee, whether you've subscribed in the past or not. Make your move now by coming to the homepage of TFNN.com and sign up for Thursday's workshop, as well as my free newsletter trial offer.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And thanks for Paul for emailing me and pointing out that New Relic is a cloud company, or at least the one I'm looking at, NEWR. I checked it out, and there's yet another New Relic. I always see their advertising in the malls for kids' clothing. I don't know why there'd be 2 names, New Relic. The other one's in some kind of holding company for clothes and mall stuff. And I'm not even sure from reading through the stuff in Google that they're still around. I can just remember seeing their stuff in the malls. Anyway, this New Relic, NEWR, is a cloud-based company. Fairly light volume at 111.59 from June 18th being tested, though. So let's go back to some other ones. And, of course, the ones that kind of interest me the most I've saved for the last, and that is SPXS, which is the direction S&P bear shares. We're finally getting back and below the January 26th low. That was 24.19 for 4.2 million shares. And you're starting to get at least a little signal here. You haven't closed back above it. That would be, some kind of big signal. A close back above 24.19 on this. This is SPXS, but not much. A little less volume, but my guess is by the end of the day, we're going to have as much volume as the last 2 or 3 days. So no real signal out here, no reversal by the end of the day in these bear shares. And of course, when we look at the SPYs, we are so close to this gap down from the 30th of January. My guess is we're going to at least get into what is still open on that, and that's where I come up with the idea that we're going to get into that 2840 to 2850 level on the S&P cash. That would be it. You had 131 million shares on that day. If you want to see those come in, today we got 24 million. It's a light volume, but it's still probably going to hit that gap at least. So when you can, not when you have to. We will see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com, educating investors.